at autismspeaks.org/win.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Oak Creek moves one step closer to having a Buc-ee's. The Common Council approved permits and redesignated land plots for the fueling station's construction Tuesday night. Neighbors in Oak Creek remain frustrated over the move, saying they don't want the increased traffic and that the city is ill-prepared for how much traffic will come to the Buc-ee's once it's built. The economic impact from the Republican National Convention will benefit Milwaukee for the long term. The MKE 2024 Host Committee finds that last summer's convention brought over $320 million to both the state and local economies. President and CEO of Visit Milwaukee, Peggy Williams-Smith, says the other benefit is from national TV coverage.
We had just opened a brand new convention center not 2 months before that. It's actually been a year since we opened it now. And we were able to showcase that big, beautiful building all over the world. We heard from meeting planners, we didn't realize how beautiful your expansion was going to be because they saw it on TV.
Williams-Smith also says that the host committee's report only includes groups that work directly with the RNC, so it's likely that the financial impact could be larger than reported. An update in the incident that claimed the lives of 2 recent graduates at UW-Platteville. Authorities confirmed that the incident was a murder-suicide shooting between students Kelsey Martin and Haley Helms. Martin was transported to the hospital where she died from her injuries on Monday. Helms was found dead on scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The investigation is still going. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Of course, every single thing that's supposed to be working is not working. So then what do? What do you do? Well, one of the things you do is you adapt and overcome. Unless you're Donald Trump. So, dear Mr. President, I got some words for you. And I have a question for you. And then I have a comment for you. Okay? So, you heard that the South African president went to the White House, right? You heard that he had a conversation with President Donald Trump. And so one of the things that they talked about, well, let me go back. The Trump administration kind of set him up because they pretended like he was just coming in to talk about some stuff. And then they called themselves sandbagging him by showing these videos and turning the lights down and doing all these things that, well, Donald Trump was trying to insinuate that the quote-unquote reports of white farmers having their farms taken from them and all these kind of, idiotic things doing and going was true. And it was, in fact, not true. And so we see this idea of Donald Trump telling people that this is the type of thing that happens in South Africa. Was there a law passed? Yes, there was. Did the law say that if done, white farms will be taken from them folks? Yes, it did. The problem was it hadn't happened. And so here you have Donald Trump pretending, acting as if white people in South Africa were having their farms taken from them, being treated like, oh my God, it's terrible, and all these things are happening, when in fact they were not. Now, first of all, the question is, are you clear about exactly what was happening, Mr. Trump? Because what I think is that somebody read a law, and we're in this time in America where white people seem to think that they're owed everything, even though they took everything from everybody that's here. So I have a problem with that. Two, you act like what was said was actually true, when in fact it's been proven, it's literally been proven that it was incorrect. Donald Trump ambushed the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, by playing him a video that he falsely claimed proved genocide was being committed against white people under the opposite of apartheid. If you understand what apartheid is, apartheid can be anybody. Anyway, the hectoring stunt set up the most tense Oval Office encounter since him trying to, bully Vladimir Zelensky this past February. Ramaphosa, who said earlier he had come to Washington to reset the relationship between the two countries, refused to take the bait and suggested they talk about it very calmly. This is from TheGuardian.com. Trump has also maintained that Afrikaners, a minority descendant from mainly Dutch colonists who came to the country, took all the land, took all the business, took all the minerals out the ground and shipped it back to Holland. But we won't talk about that. Who ruled South Africa during the decades of what? Racial apartheid, are being prosecuted. South Africa rejects the allegation. Murder rates are high in the country, and the overwhelming majority of the people are black, because the country is like over 81% black. Trump said we have thousands of stories talking about it, ordered his staff to turn down the lights and put this on, and sitting next to Trump before the fireplace, he forced a smile and looked at the TV, blah, 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 blah. Pete Hegseth is there, diplomats and all that crap. The video footage, I can't say video and footage at the same time, of former South African leader Jacob Zuma and firebrand opposition politician Julius Malema singing an apartheid-era struggle song called Kill the Boer, which means farmer or Afrikaner. So you're using old video that's like, anyway. Ramaphosa quietly but firmly pushed back, pointing out that the views expressed in the video are not government policy. There was also footage that Trump claimed showed the graves of more than 1,000 white farmers marked by white crosses. Ramaphosa, who had mostly sat expressionless, occasionally cranked his neck to look and said he had not seen that before and would like to find out what the location was. But, of course, Trump then produced a batch of newspaper articles that said they were from the last few days reported killings. He read some of them and it said death, 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 horrible death. Ramaphosa acknowledged that there's crime in South Africa and that the majority of the victims are black. Trump cut him off and said the farmers are not black because I guess we only care about white lives. The conspiracy theory of white genocide has long been a staple of racists on the far right, and in recent years has been amplified by Musk and people like Tucker Carlson. Now, Trump acknowledged that apartheid was terrible. That was the biggest threat. He said what happens now is not reported. So how is it not reported when you have a number of white people in South Africa who could easily tell someone in any neighboring country, and it would have been all over Fox News? And it isn't. It only got there when the Trump administration started complaining about it, or when his doughboy, Elon Musk, wanted to bring some of his friends over here. Now, out of all the people, all the thousands of farmers that are supposedly getting killed, or the dozens, only 59 people came. President Ramaphosa maintained an even tone, observing that we were taught by Nelson Mandela that whenever there are problems, people need to sit down around the table and talk about them. And this is precisely what we would also like to do. So here's the kicker. What they didn't say in the story is that he actually brought a couple of white golfers who negated what American news stories are saying about white farmers being killed. One of the biggest bones of contention has been a South African land expropriation law signed in January that aims to redress the historical inequities and inequalities of white minority rule. So you have white minority rule people who came into a country, they took over the country, they colonized the country. They took advantage of people who were indigenous to the country. White South Africaners are not even indigenous to the country. They came and took it over and took the majority of the land, the majority of the business, the majority of the houses, the majority of the minerals and elements in the ground, and used it for themselves, passed a law, apartheid, and kept blacks at bay. Ramaphosa denied that the law will be used as arbitrarily confiscating white-owned land, insisting that all South Africaners are protected by the Constitution. But Trump falsely said, you do allow them to take land, and then when they take land, they kill the white farmer, and when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them. You're taking people's land away from them, and those people in many cases are being executed. They're being executed, and they happen to be white. So here's the problem. Ramaphosa arrived at the White House with his agriculture minister, John Steenhuisen, who's white, two of South Africa's top golfers, Ernie Els and Retief Goosen, and the country's wealthiest person, Johan Rupert, in a bid to woo the golf-loving president. All weighed in during the Oval Office meeting and seemed to be well received by Trump. And so part of the issue is everything that was said in the White House is a lie. Everything that was said, do you think two white golfers who are millionaires themselves or the billionaire, how do you think this guy became the wealthiest person in the country that's 85% black? He took advantage of everything that every other Dutch person took advantage of. He came in and raped. I'm not saying rape in the actual sense. Raped, pillaged, and plundered everybody in that country who couldn't defend themselves. And watch this, couldn't own land and took it for themselves, made money off of it, and then kicked them to the curb. Now, when black people are in charge, now you got a problem. Black people are stupid, they're killing people, they're criminals. It's the same crap that's going on here in America. But let's tie this in a bow. When we got rid of DEI, where's all the liberal white people that complained, oh my gosh, this is terrible? They might have said it, but they didn't do anything about it. As usual, that is what we get from the liberal side of the aisle. A lot of talk, zero action. We got it in the city of Milwaukee, we got it in the county of Milwaukee, and we got it in the state of Wisconsin. Zero. Black people still have nothing. Meanwhile, DEI dies. Everybody that was for it, it's your prerogative and your right if you have a company to change it and not follow DEI. I can respect that. But the people that said it was so needed, where's Miss DeAngelis with her book about white people? Can't hear from her. Why is that? Because she benefited from it. She's a white female who wrote a book about something she knows nothing about. Telling white people how they should react. Why isn't she telling them how they should act now? Because she's benefiting from it. And she got her book sales and she sold her millions of copies, and now it's over and she's moved on. And so that is what you get. When the smoke clears, the same people that were in charge continue to be in charge. So, dear Mr. President, in the immortal words of my good friend and brother, Tory Lowe, everything you're thinking about white South Africaners, everything that you lied about with white South Africaners, and the 59 white South Africaners that are here now, you know what you are? Trash.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices, and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call, That's All Gruber Cash giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call, That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Experience some of the most cherished popular music of all time when the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra presents Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound, May 23rd through the 25th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Byron Stripling will lead the MSO and an exciting trio of vocalists that include Broadway superstar Chester Gregory, Ashley J., and Brick Liam in a musical sojourn of hits made famous by legendary talents such as Lou Rawls, Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, and The Temptations. Songs like My Girl, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and I'm Coming Out will come alive in fun and stylish arrangements that are sure to have you dancing and humming along in your seat. Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound runs May 23rd through the 25th only. So lock up your tickets right now by calling the box office at 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh, really like the way you groove. Hey, really like the way you groove.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I had a little diatribe the other day about Giannis. You might want to check X and IG, or just go to 1017 The Truth and check and check out the Open. It was just one of them days. I was just having one of them days. Get tired of everybody talking trash about Giannis and we should stay. We should go. Do whatever is most important for your family. And tell everybody else to go kick rocks. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There is no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now. You might need it. It's still raining. Why is it still raining? What happened to the weather? I don't get it. Now might be the time to upgrade your windows and doors and everything. Pella's offering up to 6 years of 0% financing, so you can set up your free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing. At this point, they'll listen to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations to make everything a reality. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends May 31st. You got 10 days. Let me see. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 30th, 31st. You got 11 days. You got 11 days. That's right. That's 30. No, you got 10 days. 30 days of November. Okay. You got 30, May 31st? Yes. You got 11 days. 11 days. That's all you got. Deal ends May 31st. Visit PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. Make sure you check it out. While I'm talking about the weather, I may as well check the weather forecast. So I'm just depressed. I'm tired of it. 46 degrees, rain. The low tonight is 45, so you ain't got far to go. Right now, it feels like it's 40 degrees outside. Winds are going in a southerly to southwestern direction at 12 miles an hour. Humidity is at 100%. 100%. You go outside, you get wet. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, yep. Dear Mr. Trump, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I don't get it. I just don't get it. We sit and we complain about things, but then we don't change anything. We don't do anything. All them folks that were supposedly on our side, ain't nobody complained about nothing. Ain't no marches, nothing. Well, we're going to ban. We're going to go against Target, where all the black products are. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So now the people that sell products at Target, and the first products they're going to take off the shelf, right? Ours. Well, it's less of them and more of us, so get rid of them. You do realize that white Afrikaners did to Africa what you're saying people from Mexico are doing to America. They came in and they took over. So if you're going to send all these white Afrikaners somewhere, send them home to Holland. They're Dutch. Send their behinds home. You want to send Venezuela to Venezuela? Good. You want to send Mexicans to Mexico? Good. Cubans to Cuba. Nicaraguans to Nicaragua? Fine. Send the Dutch people home. Ship their behinds back to Holland and get them out of here. Because now somebody should go to court and get them removed and sent back to Holland. Excuse me? Yeah, you're not from here. Do you have some kind? Oh, you don't? Yeah, you need to get out. Now, if you do something and you do realize that is literally against the Constitution, like if you sue somebody or go after somebody because they're black. We don't want you to do that because you're black. Wait, what? White people, not white people, white people, when they wanted to take over and lord over black people, invented race. We didn't. And then use Christian scripture to justify what they did and what they do. How is that? Oh, and Mr. Trump, that graveyard they said, those are all farmers with white crosses on them. Here's the thing. Help me out. You have a national security agency that can take that picture, along with the Department of Defense, Mr. Hexeth, that can take that picture, do some geospatial work with it, and figure out where it was taken, what the latitude and longitude is, where the sun was. Like, we can do that when we catch black people, right? We can do all that. Facial recognition, all that. But when it comes to proving something that black people did, nope. The fact that you said they did it, they did it. Really? What is this world coming to? Like, what exactly is this world coming to? You heard about that knucklehead in Fredonia. There was a standoff, right? There was a standoff, and they took an arsenal out of this guy's house. Now, check this out. According to the Ozaukee County Sheriff's Department, deputies recovered multiple weapons and tactical gear from a Fox Glen Road home in Fredonia after a 38-hour standoff that ended this past May 10th. We heard about it in passing because, you know, when it's in a suburb, you go, oh, yeah, there's a standoff there, but look at the weather. Misdirection. Officials report that 4 handguns, 9 long guns, ammunition, night vision goggles, thermal optics, and several electronic devices were recovered from a construction company after a construction company fortified the man's exterior and interior to secure the structure, which had been damaged when SWAT teams tried to enter the residence. WISN 12 News is where this comes from, WISN.com, obtained a temporary restraining order filed against the suspect last year. It said he had AR-15s, AK-47, and SA weapons in an upstairs bedroom of the home. It's unknown if the guns were purchased legally. However, this is what they do in suburbs, right? Now, if this was a black guy, and yes, I'm going out on a limb and saying this, if this was a black guy, he'd be in custody, charged already, and we'd be looking forward to the preliminary hearing. This suspect remains in custody at where? Behavioral health facility, pending a court hearing this week. The sheriff's office plans to refer criminal charges to the district attorney. I hope they do. But, you know, first we had to get it mentally. You know, we got to throw that little thing in. No, because everybody has it. X said that's what white privilege is. No, everybody has it. You got enough money, you got enough status, you can get it too. Because when you talk about white privilege, it sounds like people are telling me that white people have this extra thing that they can do. I've been to West Virginia. Let me tell you. It's a whole bunch of toothless, drug-addicted people. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have to go to West Virginia. I can go up in northern Ozaukee County. Same thing. Southwestern Waukesha County. Same thing. So we can talk trash, but clearly when it comes to drugs, clearly when it comes to what's that thing called? Oh, yeah. That's what they call it. It's called, you remember? Homelessness and 833-212-1017 is the number. What are some of the issues that white people have, that black people have, but it's more of them? No, school loans is one. What is it? It's like the one thing that they have, and that's drug addiction. Why do you think people cry about fentanyl? That's in an illegal drug. But if you didn't take the illegal drug, you wouldn't die from fentanyl overdose. Because most people don't just take fentanyl. But we forgot about that part. Why? Because the majority of people that are dying from fentanyl don't look like me. So now we got to fight it. We got to get it right this time. Yeah, because y'all messed up with crack. Yeah, we got it wrong that time, but we're going to get it right this time, right, because it's you. If black people had been dying from fentanyl overdoses, you'd be complaining the same thing. Lock them up. And my goal, when I say things like that, is for you to prove me wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Better yet, show me I'm wrong. But I don't think that's going to happen. You know why it's not going to happen? Because y'all stop talking. No protests over DEI. No protests over civil rights being violated. But yet you fight about civil rights for people that are not citizens here to have civil rights in your country. How idiotic and stupid is that? Because their skin is lighter than ours? And nobody proves me wrong. It's unfortunate. Nobody. Oh, no, that's not right. Here's what it is. Then tell me what it is. 833-212-1017. Tell me. You can hit me on the talk and text line. You can hit me on the YouTube chat. What is it? What exactly am I missing? Because for some reason, everybody seems to pretend like it's not a big deal. Everybody's gone back to their suburbs. I was talking to a woman the other day, but when we come back, I'm going to tell you why I finally realized I don't want to move to a certain suburb. I don't. And I tried to figure out what it was. And when we come back, maybe I'll tell you. But it just bothered me to no end. And when we come back, we're going to also look at the racist comments that were made in Waterford during that track meet that had to do with Rufus King High School. Yep, shocking. And now with 101.7 The Truth traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
More issues out on the roads. The water is coming down and making for a nasty ride. We have a crash westbound 94 at 35th Street off on the right shoulder. We've also got a crash on 41 southbound at Hampton Avenue. Just about all cleared out of the way, but the delays are nasty coming in from well before Appleton Avenue. Pretty much solid down to Burleigh. We've also got one other accident westbound 894 just as you're turning onto northbound 894 in the Hale interchange. It is off on the left shoulder, but 1, 2, 3, 4 cars plus a squad in that corner. Just be extra careful. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, scattered light showers, a low of 44. Tomorrow, light showers early, then mostly cloudy. Some clearing later on, a high of 54. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Victory Garden Initiative is an 1.5 acre urban farm that sits right in the middle of the Black community on Richards and Concordia. I don't know if you know that Harambe is a food desert. So within its borders, there are no major grocery stores. So people rely on things like dollar store, corner stores, liquor stores to buy food, which is all unhealthy. Everything we grow, and we grow everything, tomatoes to potatoes to carrots to corn to onions, and so on. And everything we grow is free to the community. It started in 2009. They wanted to build a sustainable food production system that was healthy and sustainable. And what that meant was giving people the resources to grow their own food and the skills to make sure that those attempts were successful.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
On Thursday, May 22nd, join Sharp Literacy for the 9th annual Unwrapped Milwaukee fundraising event from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 3rd Street Market Hall. Unwrapped is an evening of community, creativity, and food. Top area chefs will create gourmet appetizer, entree, and dessert bites using McDonald's ingredients. The fundraiser will support Sharp's STEAM-based educational program serving thousands of urban elementary students in 47 Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine schools. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org. Keep your business safe, secure, and spotless with the Omega Security Guard and Cleaning Team. Proudly located in Milwaukee and female-owned, Omega delivers professional security and tailored cleaning services to meet your needs. Whether it's event security or a custom cleaning plan, their dedicated team goes above and beyond to exceed your expectations. Because at Omega, they're not just your service provider, they're your partner in peace of mind. Contact Omega Security Guard today or online at OmegaSecurityGuard.com. Omega Security Guard and Cleaning. Protecting what matters most.
It's Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth, powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Officially a winning streak for your Milwaukee Brewers as they beat the Baltimore Orioles in Game 2 of their 3-game series. This one by a final score of 5-2.
1-0. Drilled deep to right field, and this one you can kiss it goodbye. Second deck. Well, near miss 2 innings ago. No mistake that time for Sal Frelick.
With the win, the Brewers improving to 24-25 on their season. Over to the NBA, where the Western Conference Finals tipped off on Tuesday night. The Thunder grabbing the 1-0 series lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Behind 31 points from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they win 114-88. And tonight begins the Eastern Conference Finals as the Pacers will be in New York to take on the Knicks. That tip-off is set for 7 p.m. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ooh.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, they got some breaking news from WISN.com. Video footage of Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan outside her courtroom on April 18th confronting federal agents who were there to arrest Eduardo Flores Ruiz, a Milwaukee man and Mexican national charged with 3 counts of domestic battery. The video, released by the Milwaukee County through an open records request, is part of the evidence in the case against Judge Dugan, who is charged with obstructing a federal investigation by concealing Flores Ruiz and allowing him to leave her courtroom through a different door after directing the agents to speak to the chief judge. The Footage shows Dugan wearing her black robe confronting federal agents at the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Prosecutors allege Dugan obstructed the federal investigation by allowing him to leave her courtroom through a restricted exit typically used by jurors. According to prosecutors, federal agents were redirected to speak to Chief Judge while Flores Ruiz exited the building. In the video, Flores Ruiz, dressed in black, accompanied by his attorney, is seen leaving through the restricted door. An agent follows him as he enters an elevator and later exits the courthouse. Additional footage shows Flores Ruiz running north for nearly a block before agents apprehended him outside the courtroom. And then she got arrested a week later. Wow. I say good for her. You're a judge. You're supposed to uphold the law. That's all. Just uphold the law. Rule of law, whether you like it or not, whether you don't like it. You know how many people I arrested and I didn't think I should have arrested them? But the law said they met the elements of the crime, so they had to be arrested. So, oh well. And all these people fighting for her and not for DEI. Had that been a black judge, she should have known better. He should have known better. You got to do your job. You got to follow the rule of law. But yet she got arrested, and we're going to protest outside the federal building. Right. We're going to protest outside the federal building. We won't protest for, I don't know, SDC maybe? I don't know. We won't. Yeah. It's too bad. It's really too bad. It's really too bad. It's really too bad they didn't get her sooner. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Yes, I should have said that. 833-212-1017 is the number. And so basketball from WISN.com, an investigation into a May 7th track meet hosted by Waterford Union High School found that students, you ready? Y'all ready for this? Students and adults made racially charged and inappropriate comments during a Rufus King High School. Students from Milwaukee led the team to leave the meet early for safety. The Waterford Milwaukee Public School investigation revealed that volunteers, y'all, intentionally mispronounced students' names, called students gangsters, and a WIAA-sanctioned official used racially insensitive language towards a Rufus King student. These are people they pay to ref games, to supervise games, to administrate games. In a letter addressed to Rufus King families, Waterford Superintendent Lucas Francois said his staff delivered a public apology to Rufus King. Waterford staff also plans to hold a student dialogue session. Oh, yeah, that'll do good. Right. And community education event. You know you can't do that no more because DEI is dead. And the district has promised to retrain event officials and meet clerks. How about firing them? When black people do that, they get fired. When white people do it, they get retrained. I don't understand that. Milwaukee Public School Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casalas called it a step in the right direction. There was a full apology. We're looking forward. We're showing students that there can be restorative practices in this situation so that it never happens again. We thought it was over, right? DEI is here. It's a new day. So one of my colleagues told me, it's a new day. So where's the new day now? No, it's not a new day. And you can't blame Trump for this. You can't blame Trump for this. You can blame him for being stupid towards the South African president. Parents are calling for the suspension of Waterford students involved in the firing of officials involved. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know they're going to protect them. You know the WIA is going to protect them. And if you think it happens here, you know what happens in Ozaukee County, Washington County, Waukesha County, Ozaukee County, Walworth County, Racine and Kenosha, and Milwaukee. You know what happens. These kids didn't learn this hanging out. They learned it at home. We talk about home training. These are kids with two-parent households living in suburbs. Yep, that is what you get. And somebody, you want to move to a suburb? Absolutely not. So I was sitting in Wauwatosa. I like some people from Wauwatosa, but I don't necessarily like the city of Wauwatosa. Now, I know the police chief. I consider him a friend, and he's smart. He's articulate, white guy, good friend. We've been friends for 30 years, 30 plus years. I've known him since he came on the job, and he's been nothing but upfront, straightforward, straight shooting guy. Doesn't have a racist bone in his body. But some of them other people in Wauwatosa look at you sideways when you come in, look at you like, what you doing here? What do you want? I don't feel comfortable. I would not feel comfortable living in Wauwatosa. Watch this. I don't necessarily like Mequon. I would be more comfortable living in Mequon because I work there. But I would not be comfortable living in Wauwatosa. I wouldn't be comfortable living in Greenfield, Greendale, Franklin, Oak Creek, Cudahy, West Milwaukee, South Milwaukee, St. Francis. Nope. I'd rather live in the city. I like the city. I can get places where I'm going. And the beauty of it is, you know why I like to live here? Now, J.D. the poet said the wild counties are wealthy and racist. No, they're not. You should go visit some of those counties, dude. You're just seeing those little pockets in cities. Go to northern Ozaukee County. Go up to northern Washington County. It is not rich, and it ain't wealthy. It's poor and rural. And some of them folks, I wouldn't let in my house, let alone I'd call the police if they was walking down my block, which you can't do. It's illegal. If you're not breaking the law, why would you call the police? Oh, my bad. That's just us.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Business Spotlight this Friday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. Me, your girl Noni Juice, will be joined by Ashley Lucas, Senior Vice President, Small Business Banking Manager at Associated Bank. Ashley and I will discuss what new business owners need to look for when looking for a new bank to partner with. So again, that is the Business Spotlight with Associated Bank this Friday at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now, because you can get up to 6 years of 0% financing at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Yes, no interest for up to 72 months, and the full Pella experience is always included. That means the Pella team is with you from start to finish. They don't disappear after the work is done. Set up your free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing at this point. A Pella design expert will listen to your vision and then present the different colors, sizes, and customizations needed to make that vision a reality. It can feel overwhelming to consider what feels like limitless possibilities, but Pella's design team can help narrow those options down for you to create that dream upgrade. Hurry! Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends May 31st, 2025. So visit PellaWI.com today.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Need to look sharp for graduation? You need
the $100 hookup.
Want to get decked out for prom? Get the
$100 hookup.
An incredible deal that includes a marvelous suit, shirt, and tie, all for $100. Only at Nick Avani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Avani's. Get hooked up today at Nick Avani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickavani's.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
For general contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I got thrown off because that was Sherwin's music, and I said, don't play Sherwin on my show. I'm going to break both your hands, both your legs, put one of your eyes out. And you got 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just kidding. 833-212-1017 is the number. Don't be playing this music on my show. Okay, you can turn it off now. Turn it off now. Turn it off. Don't fade it. Turn it off. And y'all tell Sherwin I said, turn his music. No, I'm just kidding. That's some good music. I heard him play it on this show. It was pretty good. It's pretty. You can play one a day. One a day. That's it. No more than one a day. Because he don't play nothing about mine on his show. I'm going to start doing some singing. It's AI generated music. So I'm just saying. I ain't mad at him. Drop a couple albums. Hey, here's my music, right? Like, you're going to have a concert? No. Watch this. Here's my concert. Boop, push the button. Okay, we're done. Then I can walk off and y'all pay for tickets. Yep. Miles said Sherwin is becoming addicted to AI. Ha, ha, ha. No, he's not. Well, that's probably not true. I'm the one that has the subscription to all the AI stuff. So I can get stuff. And I do a lot of writing and a lot of things like that. So, you know. But no, we have to recognize the things that are going on. And so what I'm going to do on Friday, you're here Friday, right, X? On Friday, let's connect early on Friday. I want to go through the Trump tax bill. I want to show the things that everybody's complaining about and how it's offset for all the things that actually work in it so that you get a clear picture of what's happening. Because people telling you, oh, it decreases resources for the bottom 10%, it actually causes those people working in those jobs making overtime and tips, they're not taxable. So there's some things in that bill that if you don't make a lot of money are going to allow you to make a lot of money. And because it lowers your taxes and keeps it where it is now, you're literally going to pay less in taxes. And people that make more, because they make more, are going to pay more. JD said, you know Dr. King going to be hard. At least he isn't intractable. He will change his position if you make sense. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. But no, in all fairness, that is some good music that my boy put out, Sherwin. So that's good. If you want to check it out, I think it's on Spotify, so make sure you go in and check it out. I'm going to be putting together some playlists because it's starting to get warm outside. I'll be putting together some playlists, so I'm going to try to get that done by the 1st. I've got my list of black books that's coming out on June 1st. So it's gonna be the truth. Greatness coming out June 1st. You got Sherwin, you got me, you got Kyle, you got Tori, you got Ben and Carrie. That's what's up right here. There's no reason to turn away. There's no reason to leave. There's absolutely none. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, y'all, Chris Brown got arrested again. It's a couple of my quick hits. In England, had to post like $6.7 million bail. Because, you know, boy, he'd be like, he'll get on a plane and disappear. You know, the world's a big place. You know, so he'll come back to court. I mean, they said you can finish your dates in England and you can go back to America because you can, you know, the second half of the year is your American leg of the tour. Knock yourself out, player, but you got to come back to court. So give me, you know, $6 million and you can hang out. By the way, speaking of concerts are spreading measles. So if you go to a concert and you start feeling sick, you probably have the measles. Why, of all the diseases, you would catch measles? Because once you sneeze or cough, measles literally stays in the air 2 hours. So if you got 1 or 2 people that got the measles at a concert, it'll break out. Now, I'm not going to say the artist whose concert they was at, but there was a certain artist in America over the last few weeks, and measles broke out at the concert because somebody there had the measles. Can you imagine that? And do you know you have the measles? Well, it depends on your age. Walking around with the measles, coughing and sneezing, and infected dozens of people. And then we'll get to this Colorado Rockies baseball fan. So when you go to these games, they look on the back of the ticket. You know what they tell you? Number 1, this game is televised. Number 2, they got foul balls. So if you're sitting somewhere and you get hit by a ball, good luck for you, right? Colorado Rockies baseball fan is suing them after getting hit by a foul ball. Now get this. He was in one of the booths upstairs in one of the luxury boxes and got hit by a foul ball. You know what his argument was? The Rockies are like 8-40 or something like that, some ridiculous losing streak. And he said the team is so bad that when he's in a box, he wasn't paying attention to the game because the Rockies were so bad that he wasn't paying attention and got hit by the ball and now he got a black eye. Can you say stupid?
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Tired of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account? Just no? At Brewery Credit Union, they find ways to say yes. Yes to second chances. Yes to rebuilding credit. Yes to helping you save, borrow, and thrive. Work with your credit specialist and move your financial life forward. Brewery Credit Union, Milwaukee's best place to borrow and save. Visit brewerycu.com. That is brewerycu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Aging well means staying healthy, active, and independent. To age well, we need to take care of our bones. 10 million Americans have osteoporosis, a hereditary disease that makes bones weak and more likely to break. Thankfully, we can all take simple steps to improve our bone health at any age. Eat a healthy diet that is rich in calcium and vitamin D. Get regular weight-bearing exercise, which means on our feet. Get bone health tips at pathtogoodbonehealth.org.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Oak Creek moves one step closer to having a Buc-ee's. The Common Council approved permits and redesignated land plots for the fueling station's construction Tuesday night. Neighbors in Oak Creek remain frustrated over the move, saying they don't want the increased traffic and that the city is ill-prepared for how much traffic will come to the Buc-ee's once it's built. The economic impact from the Republican National Convention will benefit Milwaukee for the long term. The MKE 2024 host committee finds that last summer's convention brought over $320 million to both the state and local economies. President and CEO of Visit Milwaukee, Peggy Williams-Smith, says the other benefit is from national TV coverage.
We had just opened a brand new convention center not 2 months before that. It's actually been a year since we opened it now. And we were able to showcase that big, beautiful building all over the world. We heard from meeting planners, we didn't realize how beautiful your expansion was going to be because they saw it on TV.
Williams-Smith also says that the host committee's report only includes groups that work directly with the RNC, so it's likely that the financial impact could be larger than reported. An update in the incident that claimed the lives of 2 recent graduates at UW-Platteville. Authorities confirmed that the incident was a murder-suicide shooting between students Kelsey Martin and Haley Helms. Martin was transported to the hospital where she died from her injuries on Monday. Helms was found dead on scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The investigation is still going. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm going to do it opposite. Well, I'll do it twice. Let me check the talk and text line. By the way, 833-212-1017 is the number for the talk and text line. And you can stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you click watch live and also make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of my live show. Sir Chance said, you're right, bruh. No harm, no foul. It was your show the other day. Another great one, by the way. Therefore, based on the can of worms in which several social media outlets and other TV networks and platforms had already opened up for critiquing construction or otherwise, you rightfully stated what you stated about him. Such was done clearly in conjunction with the Bucks franchise, city in general, and done in good faith, good taste, as well as in an unbiased and professional manner as an OG superb radio talk show host. If certain folks, particularly Milwaukeeans, sought to go far left versus middle as it pertains to the stretching of the overall context of the subject matter you opined, and consequently they want to get all thin-skinned and overly sensitive, let them. It's life. They'll be all right. Yep. Brewers manager left. They trashed his park they named after him and trashed his name. Ridiculous. You think he's thinking about y'all? Nope. He's in Chicago as the highest paid baseball manager in the Major League Baseball. $8 million. Can't complain. Can't complain at all. I don't. Lucretia said, when I lived in Wauwatosa, I had the police called on me for walking in my neighborhood. I was told I looked suspicious. That is now illegal because if you're not committing a crime, a suspicious person is not a reason for the police to respond. I wouldn't say it's not illegal, but it's not a good reason for probable cause to stop somebody or detain them if they're not doing anything. If you're just walking down the street. Just like sitting in your car. If you're sitting in your car on the street and you're not doing anything and you're not unconscious, right? If you're asleep, at least you can say the person, check the welfare of the person, right? But if they're sitting there talking on the phone or doing something, you can't call. Like, you can't call the police on them. The police ain't coming. They can be like, okay, we're not coming. Are they doing anything? Are they in help? Do they need help? Do they need medical attention? Well, I can't tell. Well, they're just sitting there. Yep. It's a public street. You can park anywhere in the city. Public street. You can jack somebody up if you want to. I'm going to sue you. Like, I want my money. I'm suing. 833-212-1017 is the number. JD said, Miss Mason, I don't doubt it. The great state of Mississippi is a very cold Confederate state. It's really not. It's really not. Wisconsin is a purple state politically. Now, when you say that, you're trashing conservatives and Republicans. But the problem is the majority of the people, when we vote, Democrats win. So if you got issues in Wisconsin, your issue is with Democrats because they run the state. Democrats run the county, and Democrats run the city. You keep forgetting about that. The ones that aren't giving you what they said they were going to give you aren't Republicans. They're Democrats. They're not taking care of your streets. They're not taking care of your schools. They're not taking care of your county. They're not taking care of the street lights, picking up the garbage, none of it. And you don't say a word. Stop complaining. See, I'm a taxpayer. I'm a complaint. Every single time my garbage don't get picked up, I'm a complain about Department of Public Works. I'm going to out them on social media. I'm going to out them on the radio, and I'm going to send complaint after complaint after complaint after complaint. Just like you would do me if I were still a police officer. You didn't like me? Complaint after complaint after complaint. That is part of the job. Do your job, no complaint. In many instances, it kind of tells me you're doing your job because somebody complained. At least you're out there doing it. I appreciate that. And I'm talking about that one person or two people on DPW that does that. I've seen the Department of Public Works in Milwaukee do some phenomenal things in this city, and they work hard and they earn every dime of their money. They do. They do. So, 833-212-1017 is, am I going to get the top 5 at 5 today? Well, if Al is here, probably not. Hey, what's up, Al?
Hey, Al, how you doing? I hope everybody is well. When in doubt, sue them out, and you want the dirt around the casket and the maggot food within the casket. What I was going to say is, a lot of times when we don't get what we want, I usually dial 286-3441.
Right.
Or I usually send emails and just call and leave a bunch of messages.
Yep.
But I think it'll work if everybody call and raise hell.
Yeah, but you need a reason. Don't just call and jam up the lines without nothing. Like, if you got an issue, then call.
Not jamming up the lines, but I would just stay call and send pictures, because there's been a couple of situations where, they had banners across the street from the house from a slumlord, but, they get real quiet. But my thing is too, with where we are now today, I think it's a integrity issue. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or a Republican. If somebody is pushing some false narratives and some lies, they should be exposed for it. And you should not be or play the bigger person. Now, if the person still chooses to be quiet, then it's a problem with them potential voters. And I don't care if it's Democrats or Republicans. If you see a lie, expose it. And that's all I'm going to say. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
833-212-1017 is the number.
Number 5.
This from Fox6Now.com. Well, gotta tell you, it's changing in Milwaukee. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's raining outside and it's doing all that. But the 2025 edition of the Waterstone Bank Air Show. I'm sorry, Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show. I never stay for the water piece. It's slated for July 19th and 20, McKinley Park and Bradford Beach on Wednesday, May 21st. That's today. Organizers provided information about the show. Headlined by the U.S. Navy Blue Angels and U.S. Air Force F-22 Raptor demo teams, the 2025 Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show. Hey, who wrote this? Hey, digital team. Yeah, I need to go back and fix you all's. It's been sitting here since 10:27 this morning, and it's the Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show, not the Bank Air and Water Show. Yeah, I need to change that. Announced several new performers that have never flown the skies over Milwaukee Lakefront. The U.S. Navy Flight Demonstration Team, the Blue Angels, the U.S. Air Force F-22 Raptor Demonstration Team, the Guard C-130H Hercules from the 182nd Airlift Wing in Peoria, Illinois. The Maryland Air National Guard A-10 Thunderbolt II, nicknamed the Warthog, from the 175th Wing of the Middle River in Maryland. 4 ships of the T-38 Talons from the 99th Reconnaissance Quadrant in Beale Air Force Base in California. The Coast Guard will also be providing a search and rescue demonstration with a C-65 Dolphin helicopter. North American B-25J bomber, the Pacific Princess, a World War II era aircraft. The Douglas A-220A Invader attack bomber, called a Special K, consolidated PB-4Y2 Privateer Patrol Bomber, which is essentially the Navy's version of an attack bomber for B-24. The U.S. Air Force Academy Wings of Blue Parachute Team. I ain't jumping out of nothing that's moving. Reback skydiving team, and Mike Van Ken with his extra 300 aerobatic aircraft display. Now, I love watching airplanes fly like that. But I had a near scare. I talk about this every year. I had a near scare when I was sitting at North Avenue at the lighthouse. You know, that point, North Point, sitting right there, and we were sitting on the rocks and watching it. And the plane flamed out, and the I don't know if it was Blue Angels. I don't think it was Blue Angels. I think it was Air Force. And it was coming towards us, and it flamed out. And you could see the guy working the controls and restarted the engine and shot it. And I was like, yeah, we packed up and left. I'm out, because it had that plane crash. Like hundreds of people would have died. All that airplane fuel would have been burning. People would have been running out. Nope. I was like, I'm out. I've not been back since. My kids were small. They had to have been maybe, let me see, maybe like 10 and 5, 9 and 5, like around. I was like, we out. And I remember because my youngest was still in a stroller. I picked her up, I picked the stroller up, and I was out. Nope. People were like, woo! I'm like, no. Y'all have fun, because I can't do that. Oh, poor baby, the air show flies over your apartment all day. Oh, I feel so bad for you. Try being in the try being in the glide path of an airport. And I would be on the south side, and I would see these cars, and I was always like, because, when I lived in Chicago, I was like maybe 10, 15 miles from Midway and almost 25, 30 miles from O'Hare. So I never, I was like, okay, whatever. Chicago's 20 square miles. So there's some parts of Chicago I ain't never been in. I saw this film on all the cars. I was like, what is that? Somebody was like, it's the airport. What do you mean airport? Well, yeah, planes fly over and they pollute and all that stuff comes out the plane. And I was like, so what do you do with your car? Well, you got to wash it. Well, how often? Like a couple times a week. What? No. That's not happening. But then again, it's warm outside. So, it's summer. But then again,
number 4.
Summer's not even here yet. And drug deals, shootings, and robberies. Is that the city of Milwaukee? Nope. A Milwaukee gas station is temporarily closed after city officials said crime is literally getting out of hand. So wet signs, empty gas pumps, and no one in sight. That's because the city suspended the license of a Northside gas station. So far, in 2025, police were called more than 30 times at the BP at Vel Phillipson Center. The crimes include stabbing, physical fights, noise complaints, and a shooting. During an April licenses committee hearing, a police report listed other calls for service from last year, including drug deals, shooting, loitering, expired food. So police said one time several people with a rifle-style firearm strapped to their bodies were walking around the front around the lot for more than an hour. So the employees stated they did not hear or see anything, nor did they call the police, despite them being seen on video walking behind the counter with several armed subjects both inside and outside the business. Nobody is standing outside, and I promise I will take care of that everything, whatever you guys said. And then it didn't happen. That's what Raina Anwar, the owner of the gas station, said. Anwar said he is working with police to install additional lights and cameras, but city leaders said that is enough. And this past May 13th, about a week ago, the Common Council suspended the license for 10 years and did not renew the extended hours license. It used to be open 24 hours. Going forward, it'll operate from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. So much for business in Milwaukee. Hey, Common Council's doing something. The committee, well, that was a committee. Committee's doing something. They had to. Ridiculous.
Number 3.
And now for our, unfortunately, UW-Platteville update. I don't know if you know, Monday afternoon, May 19th, UW-Platteville Police Department responded to a call at Wilgers Hall, Student Residence Hall, for a disturbance. And when police arrived at the hall, officers from UW-Platteville found 2 individuals injured, suffering from gunshot wounds. Did they get called to shots fired, or did they get called to a disturbance? I like how we rewrite stuff. Way to go, fox6now.com. We're going to rewrite it. It's a disturbance. It wasn't a disturbance. It's a shooting. You'd say exactly, like, I want to hear the dispatch. I want to hear there's a struggle going on here. Or did they say, I think I heard a gunshot? Yeah. Anyway, news release says one of the individuals was identified as Kelsey Martin, 22. Martin was transported to Southwest Health and then med-flighted to UW Hospital where she was pronounced dead. Martin was the Wilgus Hall Assistant Residence Director and a psychology major from Beloit. Based upon preliminary autopsy findings, Martin was determined to have died by gunshot wound. The second individual was identified as Hallie Helms, 22, who died at the scene. Based on preliminary autopsy findings, Helms was determined to have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Helms was a Wilgus Hall resident and an elementary education major from Baraboo. No other people are suspected to have been involved in the incident. Police are investigating circumstances surrounding the death of the two individuals. Anyone with information is asked to contact the UW-Platteville Police Department at 608-342-1584. I mean, am I seeing a pattern? I know of only one shooting that was at a college or university where the person was black. That was in Michigan. So, interesting. Unfortunately, race doesn't matter in this instance. It doesn't matter. A crime is a crime. Doesn't matter if the person was black or white. Two people died, and it's unfortunate. That's terrible. I know where I'm not going to school.
Number 2.
So one of the former city attorneys under Tierman Spencer, actually his top deputy, is now suing the city over what happened near the end of his tenure. Well, it looks like the city of Milwaukee might be paying out, again, more money in a settlement. Earlier this year, Adalo Ohiku filed a civil lawsuit against Inspector General Rhonda Kohlheim and other city officials for allegedly falsely accusing him of a crime and how he managed his duties to the city in his outside law practice. The issue was publicly discussed by the Common Council in November 2023 when Kohlheim issued a scathing 57-page report about Spencer and Ohiku, alleging that Ohiku, if I'm saying the name right, or Ohiku, was representing a private client while on the clock for the city. Kohlheim, during the public questioning by council members, said it is her belief that both Ohiku and Spencer committed misconduct and violated various city ethic rules and state policies, but confirmed under questioning from the council that she's not an attorney. So why is she an inspector general? Is she like an investigator? Does she have a police background, a detective or something? Anyway, Ohiku is now alleging that Kohlheim committed libel and slander by defaming him, and that Kohlheim's supervisors, Common Council President Jose Perez and City Clerk Jim Osarski, were guilty of negligent supervision for failing to properly oversee her. She made a blanket accusation that if Ohiku's name appeared at a hearing, it meant that he stole time from the city by failing to take a day of vacation. The Milwaukee County DA's office refused to issue charges or prosecute him for this alleged crime because it was clear to any attorney that no such crime had taken place at the lawsuit filed by Nathaniel Cade of Cade Law Group on behalf of Ohiku. Kohlheim was reckless in her publication of a report without seeking actual facts that could be relied upon. The lawsuit says Ohiku resigned as a result of the report. He was charged with a crime in 2024, misconduct in public office. The misdemeanor charge stemmed from him allegedly intentionally falsifying 3 economic interest reports with the city to leave out income and ownership of a private law practice. It was resolved with a deferred prosecution agreement where he entered a guilty plea, then had the charge later dismissed after completing ethics training, writing an article about his conduct, and completing 20 hours of community service. Cade also represented Ohiku in that case. So, interesting how life is. Once again, we're getting sued. Is it time to leave Milwaukee? Is it time to just hop on a plane? I'm not going to a suburb, so we ain't got that problem. I mean, at this point, it's probably safer to fly to the moon than anywhere else.
Number 1.
CNN is telling us that. Black screens, silent radios, and near misses. And it's not just Newark, New Jersey. So if it's not just Newark, New Jersey, then what are we doing? Well, at some point you have to just recognize that flying right now is scary. They've got a report on CNN.com that talks about how many of the outages are all over the country, including, if I believe and remember properly, Texas, Newark, Colorado. And those are the ones that are reported. I remember being in Arizona as a plane was about to land, and we were literally a couple of 100 feet off the ground, and we went straight back up. And you can tell when the person like turns on the thrusters, right? Revs up the engine and we took off again and went around. They never told us what it was. They never said, hey, we got a problem. Oh, they're asking us to go back around and turn around. Dude, are you about to land on top of a plane? Right? We had no idea. To this day, I have no idea what happened. And that was months ago. So I can only imagine today with screens going out, radios going out. Thank goodness pilots are trained as well as they are. Otherwise, we would be in serious trouble. And I don't know if I'm gonna be really traveling that much, even though I have to. And I'm not looking forward to it at all. It's scary. It's scary. It's terrifying. Now, Newark Liberty is one of the busiest airports in the country, had its 4th air traffic communication outage in 3 weeks. That was yesterday. The system is old. Air traffic controllers are old. A 2-second radio frequency outage occurred at 11:35 yesterday. Philadelphia Trancon facility went out. Now, they say that operations are normal, but that's just there. They got copper wires. And copper wires, when they touch, they short, they're done. What do? And I got to fly out east, and I'm not looking forward to it. Philadelphia was unable to see or communicate with planes around Newark for 90 seconds, April 28th, May 9th, and then May 11th. But the backup system had to kick in. So what happens when the backup system is too old? What happens when stuff don't work? Wait a minute. Didn't Tory Lowe walk to D.C.? Like 750-some miles? Didn't he walk to D.C.? So that means, I might have to walk to Connecticut.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance, like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Families agents. Life's better when you're under American Families roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Okay, where did he say that at? Because he corrected me. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Anyway, I was incorrect. JD, I don't know if you should use Wikipedia as your source, but he corrected me in that Chicago is 234 square miles. So you were wrong too. You said 97. It's 234 square miles, third largest city, home to 2.7 million people with 77 communities. So we were both wrong, dude. Both wrong. So okay, now that I'm doing this, how big is Milwaukee? Milwaukee is 96.8. Did you get that backwards? Let me see what you got. Chicago, okay, yeah, you got it. You got it. 97 square miles, and Chicago's 227. You are correct. So yeah, that might have been the South Side. So now I got to find out. How big is the South? I can't type today. The South Side of Chicago. 3.37 square miles. South Side as a whole is geographically large section encompassing numerous communities, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Interesting. So Milwaukee's not that big. Milwaukee could literally fit into one of the South Side, North Side, or West Side of Chicago. Interesting. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me hit the talk and text line because I have been remiss. Yesterday, I got harassed on 60th and Capitol by I don't know what that means, followed me all the way to the counter and asked for $1. Huh? Miles said, Tanya, it is that time of the year that I only carry 5 singles just in case I come across kids selling water at the lights. Tanya said, dude said, hey, can I have some money? Hey, X, can I have some money? I want to buy a blunt. That's what the guy said. Are you kidding me? You can't buy drugs. Oh my gosh. Wow. I technically it's not. Slang-wise, you're wrong. Yeah, it's tobacco. Okay. Wait. Okay. That's tobacco.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. What did he say? Some days I'll cuss someone out, but some days I give in and give them the money. That's weird. Miles said back in the day we were courageous enough to do something. I don't know. Anyway, not really a city girl said Chicago's a big city. Yeah, and compared to Milwaukee, where do you live? Not really a city girl. I think you live in Milwaukee or the area, right? I'm sincere. I don't trust it, period. I tell my encounters I don't carry cash. And y'all, well, here's the thing. Do you give money to people that are on the street that beg for money? Oh, you live on the north side. Okay. Do you give people money that people? 833-212-1017. Do you accept money to give to other? Like, I don't know. I work too hard for my money to give it to somebody. Now, if you're hungry, can I have some money for food? No, but I can buy you some food. And I've had people cuss me out because I would buy them food and not give them money. So I knew you was lying. I knew you were lying. Then I had a guy look at me, can I have some money? I said, no. He said, I ought to kick you. And I looked at him and said, well, let's go. Let's go. But my question to you, and you should never do that, by the way, and I was a police officer. And then I would have promptly arrested him and took him to jail. But in all honesty, do you give people money when they ask you for money? I don't. What's your problem? What's your need? What do you need? And it's always, my car ran out with gas. All right, where's your car? We can push it out the street. Where's your car? Matter of fact, I'll go buy you some gas and bring it to you. And then they say no. So I know they're lying, but I'm not giving you my money. I will meet your need, but I'm not giving you cash. And when you get mad for me not giving you cash, come on now. Come on. If you get mad for me not giving you cash, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Sincere says sometimes I'll buy items and give it to them unasked. And what if they don't want it? That's like giving somebody food they can't eat. Oh, look, here's some pizza. It's great. Yeah, but I'm allergic to tomatoes, so I can't eat pizza. I don't eat marinara sauce, so now what? Makes no sense. 833-212-1017 is the number. What you want, Eddie?
Yeah, I had that experience where I was in front of the Olive Garden, and a person said he was hungry, and I said I'd buy him something to eat. They said they didn't want Olive Garden. They wanted McDonald's. And I told them, well, you should be down there asking for money and not standing here. Another thing is that I do give money I do give money to people, but my situation is a little different. If I see a guy, I think there's 16th Street Viaduct,
right,
going across the Viaduct, pushing a cart with cans, and you know they're not getting no more than maybe a few dollars, then I'm a little sensitive compared to the person standing on the corner begging and then under the influence of some type of drug. Because they've been, but they never fall down.
So wait. So you saying people that push carts with cans can't be under the influence of drugs?
No, but it's something about that.
They got some work ethic.
When I look at, right, that's what I'm looking at. The point, if a person coming from the north side pushing across the viaduct to get to that main recycling.
Time out.
Kind of
don't be tagging black people on the north side as homeless, because there's a whole bunch of no homeless people on the south side, and they don't look like me.
Well, yeah, I know.
Saying. Okay.
But it's just something about.
Right.
I got a selection, but the biggest thing I got a problem with is right there on Lisbon and North, where the highway ends at.
Where the police station is.
3 or 4 people. They be begging 3 or 4 people, but they don't clean up. Why? If they're gonna beg, why don't you clean up behind yourself? You know, they leave garbage and all kinds of stuff.
I think the fact that they're homeless is kind of representative.
Oh, because you're homeless, you can't be clean?
Well, can you actually be clean and you're homeless? Those are kind of, I think those in some cases might be mutually exclusive. Like, you know, if you're homeless, eventually you're not going to be clean.
Well, throwing in your content, if I was the sheriff or the police, I would tell them they could stand there and beg, or I would enforce the law kick rocks, you know.
But you can't stand there and beg.
Nasty.
But you can't stand there and beg. You got to stay on the curb. They be walking through cars and all that. Is it?
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
But I think it could be a little cleaner. The garbage can is right across the street at your gas station. Big old garbage can.
Well, they
throw their food in there. But
they're closing down gas stations because fights are breaking out.
But then another thing, too, Dr. Ken.
Uh-huh.
A lot of these people, I wish I had the time to follow because I hear stories about people begging and they're not broke. They just, making easy money.
Yep.
Easy money.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
Southbound on 43, a hefty ride from basically Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound is slowing down from Lapham all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94, delays from about 20th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Back on the brakes from 76th Street all the way to Calhoun. On the eastbound side, we got backups from 84th Street to 35th. Southbound on the bypass, backed up from the zoo down and around the Hale to Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, scattered light showers, a low of 44. Tomorrow, light showers early, then mostly cloudy, some clearing later on, a high of 54. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Laziga on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So, Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Carrie Noni with her truth.
You know, sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, and remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin' and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Officially a winning streak for your Milwaukee Brewers as they beat the Baltimore Orioles in Game 2 of their 3-game series. This one by a final score of 5-2.
1-0. Drilled deep to right field, and this one you can kiss it goodbye, second deck. Well, near miss 2 innings ago. No mistake that time for Sal Frelick.
With the win, the Brewers improving to 24-25 on their season. Over to the NBA, where the Western Conference Finals tipped off on Tuesday night. The Thunder grabbing the 1-0 series lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Behind 31 points from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they win 114-88. And tonight begins the Eastern Conference Finals as the Pacers will be in New York to take on the Knicks. That tip-off is set for 7 p.m. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Girl, words can't express the way I feel for you. The way you hold me, the way you touch me. Girl, everything you do to me.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. X was beating me up. He was hollering at me and stuff. You dummy. What's wrong with you? You dummy. So, I had to sit there and cry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I was reading a story on Axios.com that the Justice Department announced today it will seek to dismiss pending police reform agreements in Louisville and Minneapolis days before the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's murder. So scrapping proposed consent decrees for 2 of the nation's most scrutinized police departments is the clearest sign yet that the Trump administration is backing away from federal oversight of alleged police misconduct. I happen to disagree. It's been 4 or 5 years. At some point, it's got to end. So what people don't understand about consent decrees is cities have to pay someone else to tell them what to do, and then they can't do anything without this person saying, yes, you can do it. Makes absolutely no sense to me, but it is what it is. It just makes no sense. Federal probes into nearly a dozen other city police departments initiated by Joe Biden's Justice Department, President Joe Biden's Justice Department, are now unlikely to reach reform agreements. And so some of them need reform, some don't. DOJ also said it's dropping a years-long civil rights investigation into Phoenix Police Department, rescinding its findings of numerous constitutional violations. I think the state should take care of those police departments. Like if they do something, the governors should come in and make changes and take them. Get out of this federal thing, because what happens with federal is that you can never get out from under it. Now, Louisville, who has a black police chief, and Minneapolis police departments were subject to sweeping reforms that went far beyond the Biden administration's accusations of unconstitutional conduct, DOJ says. So, Floyd's 2020 murder in Minneapolis triggered international protests and calls to tackle systemic racism. Remember, Breonna Taylor got killed in Louisville. Under Minneapolis consent decree, officers would have been prohibited from cuffing a person 14 years or younger. I don't know if you know or ever had a fight with a person who did not want to go to jail. My worst fights were with young people, teens, and women. I have never been attacked so bad than a woman. I'm just saying, that's been my experience, and I'm just one guy out of 2, 3, 10, 15, 20,000 cops over the last 30 years. An agreement would have limited how much force police can use to handle crowds at demonstrations. So if you limit it, that means the demonstration gets to go on and they get to wreak havoc and take over like they did in Seattle and Portland. And barring officers from detaining or destroying the equipment of reporters covering a news story. Well, that needs to stop. You shouldn't be able to do that. this whole thing of working in the public but not wanting to be recorded is stupid. That's just dumb. Cops better just get used to it. Overbroad police consent decrees divest local control of policing. And that's some of the stuff that's happening here in Milwaukee. To the point where some of the crime here is because cops are not proactive. When I was a police officer, we were proactive. We see somebody doing something, we would sit, we would watch, we would develop reasonable suspicion to the point where we could get probable cause to make an arrest, reasonable suspicion for the stop. All those things have now gotten blended together. So if you don't have probable cause for an arrest, then don't do anything. What? So I got to watch you do stuff, terrorize people, say things, do things that I know are going to eventually end up in a crime because it's an expertise, right? You kind of know. That cut all that out. Why would I be active if I do my job right and I still end up in jail or end up getting sued? Why would I give myself that much stress? It's easier for me to do the basic stuff. If you don't call me, I ain't coming. If I see you about to do something, I'm not going to sit there and watch and be proactive. Because then you file a complaint. Police are sitting there and they're not doing, so you're kind of damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So I can see some of these civil rights consent decrees on police departments were onerous. They went way beyond. You can't call people this. You can't call people that. If you broadcast somebody's, missing, or you broadcast somebody was an actor in a crime, you can't use this gender. You can't use this race. You can't. And at some point, why would I bother?
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices, and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yep, one of them days, wet, 45 degrees, so make sure you stay warm. Also want to remind you on Thursday, May 22nd, join Sharp Literacy for the 9th annual Unwrapped Milwaukee fundraising event from 5 to 8 here at 3rd Street Market Hall. Unwrapped is an evening of community, creativity, and food. Top chefs will create gourmet appetizers, entrees, and dessert bites using McDonald's ingredients. So the fundraiser will support Sharp STEM-based education programs serving thousands of elementary students in urban areas in 47 Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine schools. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org. That's SHARP literacy.org. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I don't know what's coming up because it's Wednesday, so you know what's coming up today, right? The analysis. So make sure you check it out. We'll have a great time. Thank you, X. Appreciate you. Hey, y'all. God bless. Take care. See you in about 22 hours, God willing. I'm out.
This is 1017 The Truth, Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel, because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Hey, Truth fam, this is your girl, Melanie Ricks, and I want to remind you to tune into Nothing But the Truth digital show with me, Melanie Ricks, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., a new episode drops on the 1017 The Truth YouTube page. And since it is on YouTube, I hold nothing back. I give you all my hot takes on celebrity gossip and give you the tea on relationships that you don't want to miss. Subscribe to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you never miss Nothing But the Truth digital show, dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m., presented by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
Tired of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account? Just no? At Brewery Credit Union, they find ways to say yes. Yes to